Godzilla Minus One is the latest, mainline series Godzilla movie that we've gotten. I think since Shin Godzilla. I could be wrong, but I don't remember. So, for a little bit of context, my friend is a huge Godzilla fan, and I have been like on and off throughout my life. When I was very little, I was really into the older Godzilla for some reason. Like I just loved watching that movie, and then more recently, like the whole monster universe. I enjoyed some of those movies, but they're not what Godzilla is to me and to a lot of diehard Godzilla fans. And then I also just watched Shin Godzilla for the first time, and it kind of reintroduced him into my landscape, I guess. And I kind of looked at him as a very different kind of character, and I don't know. I think he's very versatile and can be used in so many different stories, and I like that they do that. I like that Godzilla is placed in a bunch of different scenarios, and like it just is a very unique and very smart way to build a franchise. Excuse me. Anyway, with all that aside, I was so excited to see Godzilla Minus One. It kind of came out of nowhere. I had heard nothing about it before it was released here in the States. So yeah, I knew pretty much nothing about it until I saw a trailer, and then I was like, oh, holy shit, we have to see this movie. And I did over the weekend. And guys, it is so worth seeing. Please, everybody go watch Godzilla Minus One, because this is a front runner at the moment for my movie of the year. It's between two movies right now, this one and another one that I won't give away. But man, holy shit, this movie blew me away. So let's talk about what's going on in the plot here. So a Japan naval base, I think it's naval base, during World War II is under attack. They don't know what it is at first, but as it emerges from the sea, they can obviously, it's Godzilla. So they order a kamikaze driver or a kamikaze pilot to, sacrifice himself for the nearby village and the naval base and all its soldiers. And he was petrified and couldn't do it. And Godzilla ravaged everything around him, leaving him with only, I think it was his sister, left. So that's not spoilers, because again, that happens in within the first 5 minutes of the movie. So it's not the most. It's you need that information going forward. It's such a unique premise, and the way that they tell the human story in this movie is so interesting and so uniquely this movie, because it's telling a quote unquote war story during the time of World War II, but it's not really about that. It's actually about how that war affected Japan's citizens and people just living normal lives, how badly their efforts in World War II affected them. And you get different each of the characters give different perspectives on how they feel about the war, about the cleanup, and you just get so many different perspectives from a point of view that you don't get to see really ever in almost any movie. And that it was so interesting to follow, and how they reacted to Godzilla, and how they if they wanted to kill it, if they wanted to, just all of the morality in this movie and the nuance of it, because it's a very, honestly, for a Godzilla movie, it's very quiet and very subtle and very haunting at times. This movie, it chooses to tell a very brutal and honest depiction of what wartime was like. And yeah, it was kind of heart-wrenching to watch, and I was not expecting that whatsoever. So a part of me, when viewing that side of the film, was kind of saying, well, does that mean the Godzilla stuff is going to be lacking, because I'm really loving this, but if the Godzilla stuff isn't there, then but holy shit, yes it was. The CGI in the film, some people are criticizing it. I actually kind of like the more stripped down approach. I feel like they put a lot of their budget into Godzilla himself, and then focused on using a lot more practical stuff and really good camera work to kind of mask the not shitty CGI that they're using, but the cheaper CGI that they're using. Because it doesn't look bad, it just looks cheaper than what you would normally see. And that's fine, because the design for Godzilla in this movie is fantastic. I think he looks so much more menacing and kind of like a scared animal that, much like in Shin Godzilla, doesn't really know what's going on and is just reacting. And actually Godzilla wasn't even attacking the village before they shot on him. So there are just so, like, this movie is so deeply layered and so unassumingly broad with a lot of its takes. And I kind of like that. It very much chooses to tell the story of people whose stories haven't been told, if that makes sense. And the way that they use Godzilla as kind of a metaphor for the war cleanup effort and the different mines that would explode onto random fishing boats, and basically, and obviously, Godzilla has always been a metaphor for nuclear warfare, and that's also in here. But again, they add a different layer to it because this is a post World War II Japan, that is dealing with the fallout of the Hiroshima strikes and all of that stuff and losing the war effort. So yeah, there are some ways that they use Godzilla in this movie that I'm just like, yes, that is such good storytelling. This movie is a masterclass in storytelling and character development and dialogue and using your budget in a successful way. Like, this movie just is like perfect from start to finish. It accomplishes exactly what it wants to accomplish and even more. And to me, that's the sign of a truly, like, a real achievement in film, and something that is head and shoulders above the rest, because it like, I can't, there isn't something in the movie where I could say, no, I wish they would have done that differently. That part, dragged on for too long. There was some corny dialogue. I don't know if all these story elements matched up together. That's not here, at least for me. Obviously, this movie isn't absolutely perfect, but it's as close as it's going to get. And excuse me, wow, I was shocked with how just incredible Godzilla Minus One is. I really hope everybody goes sees this on the biggest theater screen that they can find. I'm going to give Godzilla Minus One a really strong A+. I loved this movie. It might be my favorite movie of the year. I'm not sure yet. It is one of my favorite movies of the decade so far. It's probably my favorite Godzilla movie, and I've seen a good handful of them. So yeah, I really, really loved Godzilla Minus One. Yeah, what a shocker to get a mainline series Godzilla movie, this, just out of nowhere, and for it to be this fucking amazing. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my review. Have you seen Godzilla Minus One? Are you planning on seeing it? Please let me know in the comments. I really want to know what other people feel about this movie. There's a lot of stuff coming up. We've got Poor Things. I have to go see The Boy and the Heron. I'm seeing Napoleon today with Cameron. Cameron, say hi. And then The Iron Claw is still coming out. I guess I have to see Wonka. Ugh. But yeah, we
don't have to see Wonka. It's okay.
I have to review it, I guess. Ugh. I know. Besides the point, there are still lots of movies still yet to come in December, so stay tuned for that. And then, best and worst of the year lists. I don't have wrestling again this year, and college is winding down for the semester. We have 2 days left, so yeah. We will have on-time lists this year. Hooray!
Woo!
No more best of the year lists in April. So, yeah, other than that, I will see you guys with the next review.